Hey everybody, before we get into the charts, there is a New York Stock Exchange IPO, the first ever in history marijuana company IIRP, and that's taking place in less than 2 weeks. That's on November 22nd. So I'm very excited about that. I've been waiting for it for 6 years. I've been doing a lot of research, reading the filings. I'm putting together a in-depth video with company research and research of the executives and the team. Going to go over some IPOs in the past and some trading tips for establishing the game plan. I'll have that out this weekend. We're going to be on mjipo.com. We're going to have a live stream the day that it is active when it lists, and then we are going to have a chat room there as well. So feel free and check it out. We're putting the final touches on that website, getting it ready for 2 weeks from now, and that video will be out in 2 weeks. So looking for a sell the news reaction in the US because that happened 4 years ago when the polls were so clear about who was going to pass. It happened again, sell the news event, but a lot of these Canadian names were not hit by that sell the news. Fortunate for the Canucks. So we do have a break of this pattern, and we highlighted the clear ascending triangle pattern, and that's when you have a horizontal resistance line. You can see we topped out at it 3 times, and then higher lows. So the range gets tighter and tighter and tighter. Bullish break above that yesterday, a green Marubozu candlestick, very strong for the bulls. Gap down open today, but clearly the bulls with big volume buying the gap down, closing above the high of the day and in full breakout mode. So that upper Bollinger Band is 805. As long as the bulls can hold that upper Bollinger Band on the daily time frame, we will remain in breakout mode. And in terms of resistance, there is not much. Need to zoom back to the complete history here. And we are in blue sky breakout mode. Ideal scenario for the bulls. No slowing down, no effect by the sell the news in the US names. And maybe because we had the sector, let's look here. We had the US sector down 7%. Canadians were down 2.3%. Maybe we see money shift from the US sector and start to go into these Canadian names that are in blue sky breakout and doing well. OGI, still lower highs and lower lows. We rejected from the 10-day moving average resistance of 264. We must hold 232. Bulls are going to try and form a higher low now, and then we need a higher high to try and change this trend. So clear consolidation. It's pretty healthy at this point after such a breakout. So must hold 232. Bulls ideally want the higher low to be 241, the low of today. And then if we get up and break 275, we will break that lower high pattern, and we'll be looking up at 283 and then 311. Weekly time frame for OGI has been one heck of a bull move, and you can see consolidation, decreasing bear volume on these consolidation periods are very healthy on the weekly time frame, and we just did that for 2 weeks. Currently, it's a bullish reversal doji after that consolidation, and we'll be looking for the bulls to continue to the upside if we can confirm this bullish reversal doji with a green week next week. So still work to do on the daily. Obviously, nowhere near as bullish as CGC, which is breaking out. And our key support level is 232. Don't forget that level. ACB, so we had the bullish reaction to the all-time lows, but we did form yet another lower high. So our lower highs are now 244, 238, 226, and anything less than 226 is just going to be another lower high. It was a big gap down. The bulls did buy that gap down in a big way, but we have the moving average resistances, the 10-day at 212, middle Bollinger Band 216, and unless we can get over 226, we're going to continue in this lower high pattern. And ACB, not much to watch on the weekly time frame after recent listing. It's not the IPO. Thanks for the correction. But it's the daily chart that's important, and those lower highs, that must break for the bulls. And you can put a nice downtrend resistance line, but I prefer to use the price action alone. It's certainly clear enough at this point where that can be the case. But there is your downtrend resistance line, and I'm hitting the tops of the green real body candlesticks because no prices are closing above those levels, meaning it's resistance. So there's a resistance downtrend line to be watching, and the lower high pattern needs to break. APH, very bullish, higher lows, and now trying to get higher highs. So here was the same or a similar tightening pattern where we have our low of consolidation, our high, which was a double top, 404, 401, not exactly double top, a lower high, higher low, lower high, higher low, bullish break with now a higher high. As soon as we got over 396, that was a bullish break. But there we see 404 topping out with this 404 back here. So now we do have a double top at the high that we've seen. So now we're shaping up for another potential ascending triangle with a horizontal resistance line and an increasing higher low pattern as the range gets tighter and tighter. Look at this middle Bollinger Band support. It's held the past half dozen tests. That's at 377. If the bulls break above 304, we get a bullish MACD cross. The bullish volume has been nice, and we're close to a breakout here on APH, looking to follow the lead of CGC. Weekly time frame is seeing some decreasing volume. We need to see the next 2 days get some high volume to catch up to last week's volume. The bulls don't want to see decreasing volume on an uptrend, but we're right at that resistance level, and we're going to give that level another test tomorrow. And it's important in these sectors to find the sector leader. And I'm assuming it's CGC, but admittedly, I'm much more knowledgeable in the U.S. marijuana sector than I am the Canadian. So if you guys want to let me know who you believe the clear sector leader is, and not necessarily in terms of fundamentals, but in terms of volume, and if you can find the sector leader, it really makes it easy to find the laggards. So if CGC were the sector leader, and if that were a known, established fact from watching it trade for a long time, then I would absolutely assume that APH is about to break out, being a laggard to the sector leader. MT, also in a similar pattern. Here's that ascending triangle. We've got resistance at 424, 424, a double top, and then 418. You put your horizontal resistance line right across the top, higher lows, tightening range. We got a nice little higher high over the past 2 days, and we're coming up to test that 424 resistance again. Bulls want to break it on high volume to break out just like CGC did. So another example where if CGC were the sector leader, that could give us some indication on what to expect here on MT. The 10-week moving average support is 368. That's been holding for a long time. If that were to become resistance, it would be a red flag, but that is not of concern at this point in time. We have an inside candlestick on the weekly last week, which means the range traded with inside the previous week. And as soon as we broke 410, that was a bullish break, indicating we're going to have a bullish week. So 424 is the target for MT. Both MT and ACB, I take that back, both MT and APH are in ascending triangle patterns, very, very similar to CGC, which already broke out. And we have ACB is lagging, definitely the most bearish of the five, and OGI also trying to turn things around, also the second most bearish of the five. So that's what we got. I'll check back in over the next couple of weeks every now and again. Check out the site MJIPO. We're almost up and running there. And again, that video will come out this weekend for the NYSE IPO. Can't tell you how excited I am. I feel there's going to be lots of money to be made there. And I'll see you there. Thanks for watching.